point out to you the Marina Bay area. Now, this is a very interesting area. How do you create a freshwater reservoir from the sea? The best way is to put a dam across it. So on the far left, you will get to see Marina Barrage, the dam that's being put across the sea. 2 years later, whenever it rains, the rainwater comes down and it diluted the seawater. They opened the crest gate on your far left there. The Marina Barrage let out the excess water. 2 years later, it turned into freshwater reservoir. So today we have 17 reservoirs in total, but still the water is not enough. We still import about 50% of our drinking water from our neighboring country, Malaysia. So on your left there, you can see the white stripe on the two domes and also the super trees. That's part of Gardens by the Bay, the first stop or second stop in the city sightseeing tour. That's Formula One Grand Prix pit stop. Singapore has the night race for Formula One race Grand Prix in September on an annual basis. All right. Now, besides the Singapore flyer, of course, over here, I'd like to draw your attention to your right. Can you see the small white statue with water spewing from his mouth? That is the Merlion, the icon of Singapore. So there you are. We are having the inclusion of city sightseeing. These are the two places they would visit if they join the city sightseeing tour. One on the left, that's Gardens by the Bay, and the one on the right, that's Marina Bay area. Okay? All right, since we are going for the heritage tour, we are now passing through. This is all reclaimed land that we're traveling on. Now, take note, Singapore, the major problem that we are faced with, we do not have enough land space. So when we want to create a very big development or a very major construction, the first question we have to ask, do we have enough land space? If the answer is no, next question, can we go underground? Yes, for the MRT, that's the underground train system where we tunnel underground in the city center. But out of the city center, the tracks are elevated, right? Yes, for collection of the wastewater underground through the pipelines, which we call the deep tunnel sewerage system. But not for airports, not for seaport just yet. In the far future, you imagine transformer, they can transform into different kind of transportation, then that will be for the future. Okay, I'm not joking because we have so many people but such small land. Okay, so as I speak to you right now, we have already completed land reclamation. What does that mean? We take out the water from the sea, we dredge the seabed, we fill it up with sand and soil, which we imported from our neighboring countries, mainly Malaysia and Indonesia. So we've already reclaimed the land for Terminal 5. Right now we are building Runway 3, and that should be completed by the year 2035 on the eastern part of Singapore, Terminal 5. Right now, you know Terminal 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Come 2035, we have Terminal 5. And on the western part of Singapore, we are also constructing the biggest or mega seaport in the world at Tuas. That should be completed by the year 2040. So we started land reclamation even way back, as far back as the year 2012. So imagine, ladies and gentlemen, these are all reclaimed land that we are traveling on. We cross this road, we come to the old part. This was where the shoreline used to be. And the people are enjoying their lunch because they are working in the civic central business district here. So this is the hawker center. What's the difference between hawker center and food court? Hawker center is open air, fresh air, no air conditioning. Inside there will be fans. But one thing good about this market called Lau Pasat, literal translation from Hokkien, one of the Chinese dialects, is old market. It's Scottish architecture located by the seafront in those days before the land reclamation. Used to be selling fresh fish and vegetable way back in the 1800s. Now it is a hawker center. So remember, the difference is hawker center does not have air conditioning. It's either fan or fresh air. And now it's very crowded because it is lunch time for the office workers. Yeah. So here we are. This is part of Chinatown in Raffles Town Plan. This was the area allocated for the Chinese as well as the Indian people. On the left here, this is the area for the Hokkien. I was born here in Singapore. I grew up listening to the aunties and uncles speaking in Hokkien. So I could speak, I think my Hokkien is better than my Mandarin. Now, where we're heading to, that would be the Cantonese area, but as Jilin make the left turn into South Bridge Road, I want to tell you about this road here, which is also called Street of Harmony. Why? The four main religions, the places of worship are all lined up on this road. On the right here, this is an Indian mosque called Masjid Jamia. This is the oldest Hindu temple in Singapore called Sri Mariamman Temple. So you have Islam, you have Hinduism being represented, and we will be visiting from the outside the Buddhist temple called the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple. So Buddhism being represented. And ahead of you, you can see the Fairfield Methodist Church, Christianity being represented. Even though the government of Singapore recognizes 10 religions in all. However, four main religions here are Buddhism, which constitute about 31% of the population's belief. Christianity, about 18%. Islam, about 15%, and Hinduism, about 5% of the religious belief here in Singapore. So what we're going to do, once Shilin has parked his coach properly, all of you will have to get down. You will have to take everything down with you. You cannot leave anything behind, not even your jacket. Okay, because he will do a check, and so if anybody who leave anything behind, you get to be called back to fetch your belonging down with you. Okay, please go to behind the coach and wait for me safely. Okay, hold on. He's going to park behind there first, and then we will do a walk of Chinatown for about half an hour only. Right? So let's pretend it's 1:15 right now. Half an hour should be 1:45. We should be back at the coach. All right. Just for your information, we are going by the time shown on this clock because when we left, it was 5.